So how bad is the market for the Gen Zs right now? While everyone is calling them lazy, I don't think they are. They have a lot going on right now, which makes it really difficult to get ahead. Let's talk about it.
All right, let's focus in on employment and the politics of this here. Gen Z is struggling economically. Youth unemployment is at 10.5%, double the national average, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. About 1 in 3 young adults still live at home.
Yeah, that seems to be what a lot of Gen Zs are doing right now. And it's really unfortunate because some people look at people that stay home right now trying to get ahead as being weak. Right? You hear that now. They get an apartment, throwing money away, you get a house, then you can't afford it. So it's like, well, I just got to stay home. And to me, that's the best advice for them to do. But it's really unfortunate. Let's be very honest. It's really unfortunate the fact of they cannot go out and enjoy the things that most of us were able to enjoy when we were younger. I'm a millennial in the later years, so I was definitely around the time when rent was like $600, $500 a month, right? Where I was able to live on my own. As soon as I graduated high school, to live on my own. Now that seems damn near impossible. So yes, a lot of Gen Zers are right now staying home, right? But that's the right thing to do right now is to stay in the sidelines, to stack, build wealth. That way, once you go out, you would have the money to get in a house, or to get your own apartment. It's all about being patient, but I get it, man. It's like enough is enough. This has been going on for such a long, long time.
A new study shows 70% of Gen Z loses sleep over financial stress. The political figures that are resonating with parts of Gen Z speak directly to these economic struggles. Charlie Kirk was one of them. Here he was back in 2012 on his first Fox News appearance.
When we graduate from high school this coming June, we're handed a diploma. That's also an invoice for hundreds of thousands of dollars that my generation is going to have to pay off through interest, high taxes, and a stagnant economy. We here at SOS Liberty believe that if we do not change the conversation back to us, the kids that are going to have to inherit this debt, that our economy will be stagnant for years to come. I'm having trouble finding a summer job, as is Mike, in a lot of different regards. A lot of kids are feeling the effects of what we like to call, with the Washington economy, with a lot of debt plummeting small business, with higher regulation and high taxes. We're just trying to reinstitute the founding principles, free market, fiscal responsibility. SOS Liberty is a nonpartisan. We don't consider this a Republican versus Democrat issue, but rather a generational one.
And that's wild because he's talking about that in 2012. He's talking about the struggle in 2012 about what most of these kids are going to getting a college degree and dealing with student loans and struggles that they're going through. And you fast forward to 2025, nothing has changed. It actually got worse. It didn't get better. It got worse. It didn't matter what politician was in the office. The situation got worse, especially with inflation, the cost of college being extremely high. And he's exactly right. So many people right now are just sitting back and they can't get a job. They can't do anything, because right now the job market is so tough, inflation being so high. It really sucks. It really sucks that they have to struggle through that and just remain, constant and diligent with the money that they have, because it's not even a lot out there to support a lifestyle on their own. And it's funny because in the beginning, well, not really funny, it's kind of sad. In the beginning, it says 70% of Gen Zers are having struggle sleeping. I don't think it's just a Gen Z thing. I think we all are, okay? For anyone who had a great job, great pay, all these years of wage stagnation, everything's remained extremely stale. Inflation's eating up all your money. Some jobs are giving you a 1%, 1.5% raise, but then you're dealing with like 3 to 4 to 5% inflation. So most people are struggling tremendously, and a lot of people are losing sleep at night. A lot of people are just struggling because they don't know how to make ends meet. They keep on seeing everything with layoffs, and I don't know. You let me know what you think. Maybe social media has a part to play for that. Everyone pumps fear, but I feel like it's a lot of reality behind it.
So that went on to become Turning Point USA. Ed and Kyler are still with us. So you have Charlie Kirk saying something that I think could still be relevant today. It's hard to find a job when you get out of college, and people, his generation is finding that scary and difficult. Now you have Zoran Mamdani, who is, I think, the most apt figure to talk about on the left, because he's coming out and he has captured the voting base of New York City. Looks like he's going to be a shoo-in to win the mayor's race here next month, or in about a month and a half, because he's talking about affordability. I mean, his main message is it's too expensive to live here. It's too expensive to find housing here. It's too expensive to eat here. your life should be better and it should be more affordable. Is that what the next generation of political leaders needs to do? Talk directly to people who say that they can't afford their lives?
Yes, they do. That's the problem, that a lot of these politicians, they do come out and they say all the things they need to say until they recognize it's not that easy, because it really is not that easy. It's been since COVID, I think even before that, it's just been a constant wage, stagnation, and everything getting to a point where you feel stuck. And all these politicians are saying, yeah, I can fix it. You can't fix it. You could talk big to get votes, but you can't fix it. Now, it would need to take, years of building and building on top of that in order for the economy to get better. But these companies, these corporations, man, they are not just that willing to just give people pay raises and the pay that they deserve. Why? Because we all got used to it. We all got used to it. And to be honest with you, I blame a lot of it of all this side hustle culture, because what happens is these jobs know, well, we pay you this, but if you don't make enough, then go ahead and do a side hustle. Because so many people are doing side hustles that they're saying, well, you know what, I gotta do 2 jobs, even though this job don't pay me enough, but that's okay because my side hustle, my primary job is enough. And that's the problem. Working 2 jobs is not going to fix that solution. But if you wanna get ahead, and if you have debt and you wanna build wealth and you wanna get out of that rat race, that's the thing that people are starting to do. They're starting to work 2 jobs in either in order to survive, or in order to get themselves out of the financial situation that they're in now.
Yeah, that's like, as I said at the beginning, that's why young people voted for Trump, is because they thought he would fix the economic problems that they're facing. And then I think Mom Domini is answering those same sorts of questions for people, where he is centering affordability, financial hardship, the housing crisis, all of these things that people are trying to deal with as they climb up a career ladder that really, no longer exists because of technological things like AI.
Yeah, AI has taken a lot of people's jobs, especially a lot of people graduated college and they're getting entry jobs. AI has replaced so many of it. That's why I always highly encourage people to learn AI, because AI, man, is extremely powerful. It's replacing so many people's jobs, and it's having so many people having sleepless nights due to the fact that they're afraid that AI is going to replace their jobs. Now, I will say this, I know we keep on talking about politicians are going to change. It gets to a point, guys, where I don't believe anything politicians say, right? I just have to adapt to what's going on right now and my financial situation. I need to adapt to it. I need to hustle and figure things out. I might not be able to get this fancy car. I might not be able to take so many vacations, right? I might not be able to do all that. Or, I might want to save and hit financial freedom in an earlier stage, but it's not going to happen. It's going to take some time. It's going to take patience. And to me, the economy always rebounds. It is scary. This one has been very, very long to rebound, but you just have to be in position and ready. Don't make your financial situation worse. We always talk about lifestyle inflation. Don't inflate your lifestyle now to the point where you start making all this money in the future. It's to pay back all these mistakes that you made. That's why you're hearing people talking about YOLO spending, doom spending. All this is spending, right? Using buy now, pay later, racking up credit card debt. Then finally, when things turn around, you get the raise, you get everything you need. Your credit score is ruined. All that money you're making is going back to pay off debt. You're paying all these interests for these credit cards and stuff. You have to just be really, really careful and not put yourself in a bad financial situation. Because as much as, yes, voting is really important, most of these guys, right, most of these politicians, they don't really fix your life. Let's be honest with you. They don't. By the time it trickles down to you, it takes such a long time. To me, you got to take matters into your own hands. That's just the only way for you to get ahead. Is to take matters into your own hands, and eventually it will work out, especially if these politicians really do what they say they're going to do.
And so I think more and more so, political leaders have to pay attention to what young people are saying to them. There has to be some sort of regulation around technology. Should it be replacing all the entry-level jobs, or at least trying to? Probably not, right? We have to figure out how to build more housing. And we really do have to address these core affordability problems, or the problems are going to continue to be an issue. And it's going to continue to create disillusionment in young people. And it's just going to be a never-ending cycle, like we're seeing now.
Yeah, change just needs to happen. It just needs to happen, right? It just needs to, man, because these Gen Zs and everyone in general is just struggling right now and just trying to just get ahead and wants a little break, a little break. And to me, listen, I'm not gonna make this about politics, but I feel like everyone that voted for either Trump or Biden, whatever, you have to know, you have to feel like it failed, like it did not work, like you're not getting what you want. You thought you're gonna get one thing, and you're not. It's politicians, man. You gotta be really, really careful. They make a bunch of promises, and they don't deliver. And sometimes they might deliver, but it's not to you, right? It might benefit others, but not you. And it's like, it's just a mess, man, really. But I really feel like when it comes to Gen Zs, they do need a fair shot. Some policies need to be in place. Something needs to happen to give these Gen Zs a fair shot, because right now they are just completely struggling. Now, I would say this: Gen Zs are really smart, man. They're starting businesses on their own. They're not just sitting in the sideline doing nothing. They're finding ways to increase their income, build their wealth, rather than the whole conventional working a 9 to 5. These guys are extreme hustlers. I find them extremely motivating. But at the same time, we just need to get better opportunities for them. That way, they're not screwed, right? They're hearing about, the great times, right? Make America great again, the past. Well, they're not benefiting from that at all. Like, they're not getting the wealth that the people were getting back in the days. They're just not.
How do you talk about it, Ed? How do you resonate? I mean, all politicians talk about affordability. How do you resonate by talking about affordability?
I think you talk like Charlie Kirk just talked. I mean, that was a pretty great message that we just saw from Charlie Kirk there. I think you need to recognize what the issues are. I think you need to have a strong command of what the issues are. As you say, a third of us living with our parents, the fact that half of our parents are still supporting us financially, the fact that housing prices are at record highs, the fact that college costs are 42% of our income compared to 13% for our grandparents, et cetera, et cetera. By the way, you talk about it the way Kyler talks about it. I mean, this is a big reason why Kyler's message is resonating so much with young people. It's simply a recognition of the struggles.
It definitely is just a recognition of the struggles, but once again, something has to be done. Now, I would say this, if everyone's mentioned the Gen Zs are living in their home, whatever, and it makes it seem like the Gen Zs are the only one that's dealing with the struggle. But a lot of the Gen Zers are living, and some millennials are living with their parents, but also it's because they need to help their parents. A lot of parents are struggling as well during these times, dealing with high cost of inflation, especially if they're on a fixed income, like Social Security or on a pension. A lot of them are just struggling as well. So some people actually have their own family and they're living with the parents as well. They're all living under one roof in order to support each other, right? That is the thing that I'm seeing the most. So many people are talking about having the multi-family homes, which is, you just need to go that route for everyone to win, because everyone is struggling. It's not just one generation, guys. It's all generations are struggling. And parents are going through it a lot as well. I'm seeing that a lot. A lot of my friends are moving in with their parents and they're helping them out. Or they might live on their own, but they're still helping them out financially as well. So it's like an extra burden on top of that, because it's your parents, right? You want to help them out as much as you can. But that's a lot of things that people not take into consideration, is you're taking care of your own family and you're also taking care of your parents, which is a huge, huge, huge struggle and a huge burden.
Now, the trouble is, I mean, you give credit to Charlie Kirk for recognizing the problem. You don't give him credit for the solution that he proposed. And the solution was to elect someone who has really shown more disregard for the economic well-being of young people than any president in American history. I mean, he talked about fiscal responsibility in that video, but this is the president who decided to explode the debt by $4 trillion, the debt which young people are going to have to pay for. This is the guy who reignited the cost of living crisis with the largest set of tariffs in American history. This is the guy who's overseen the most unaffordable housing market in American history. This is the guy who made $5 billion shilling crypto, Trump coin, Melania coin. Meanwhile, 600,000 people lost around $4 billion on these coins. So, you got to recognize the problems. And I think Charlie Kirk did a good job of that. But then it's a question of, okay, how do we build solutions? How do we actually fix these problems? And in my view, no one has really done more damage to young people and their economic prospects than the current president. And I think for young people, we need to sort of wake up to this reality and ask ourselves, what do we want to do about it?
Yeah, that's not going to happen. People are not going to wake up, because a lot of people don't like admitting their mistakes, right? Listen, it's okay if you voted for someone that expected one thing and it didn't work out, right? But of course, and even my comments might go crazy because it might seem like I'm being one-sided or whatever. People just, when it comes to politics, people just hear just one thing and that's it. But he brought up a lot of good points. I like his points that he was saying. I really do. Which, everybody wanted Trump to address everyone wanted all presidents. It's not just Trump. It's really all presidents to address the affordability, right? But in this case with Trump, it's like he preached that, but then he's throwing in tariffs in there. And I know, I get it, man. I already know my comments are going to be crazy, but tariffs, guys, is expensive. It makes things more expensive for us. Let's not kid ourselves, okay? We're the ones that have to pay. We have to pay for the actual cost of goods being higher. We're the ones. It's not the corporations. They're going to trickle the price increases right back to us. So that's not addressing our issue. It's not addressing our issue. Tariffs, yes, maybe you could have a debate and a conversation about tariffs in a different type of segment. And I know it does bleed a little bit onto affordability because the whole belief is to bring jobs back and to be more competitive in the market. I get that. But there's other things that could be done now to address the financial issues that people are going through now, right? That tariffs could just be put aside. Because to be honest with you, Trump has been talking about tariffs since the 90s. This is like his own agenda pushing tariffs. But things need to be addressed now, right? Like we just having so much issues with wage stagnation. Everything is just, inflation is high. There's a lot of stress going on right now. And things need to be done now. Politicians, yes, they're going to talk. Unfortunately, they don't do the things that they say they were going to do, right? They just don't. But the main issue is people need to recognize like these people are not going to fix it. We need to fix our issues ourselves. Maybe we need to start our own businesses and hire people, help people out, and give fair wages. I don't know, but something definitely has to change because just relying on politics, guys, it's really, really, really tough if all you do is put all your eggs in one basket and the president to fix all your issues. Me personally, it's not how I live. I would never do that, but I do understand so many people, that's what they do. They just put all their eggs in one basket and say, please, president, fix all my issues. But guys, drop a comment down below and let me know what you think, how you feeling right now during this economy, and what do you think should be done to fix it? Hit the like, leave a comment, subscribe. Catch you guys in my next video. Peace.